What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Damian Cryer, and I'm back with another video. So today, man, is my last day here, and I'm headed back home, guys. But before I decided to leave, I said, you know what? I've been wanting barbecue ribs for a long time. Now, in Houston, I could find ribs, but they're like oven-cooked ribs in a restaurant. What I like to look for when I get ribs, I want that grill taste. I don't want that gas grill taste on my ribs. I love grilled ribs off the grill. I want that smoked charcoal taste on my ribs. So in Fort Wayne, I know where all the spots at in Fort Wayne. So today I went and got a large rib tip, not the meal, just the tips. So this is what they look like. They always come with a couple slices of bread. This meal, this rib tip package was $13, and I got extra mild sauce, but I happened to actually put extra mild sauce on it, so the ribs don't be dry. So I'm finna do my grace real quick. Thank you, Lord, for this food I'm about to receive. Thank you for my blessings, Lord. Thank you for safe travels. Thank you for watching over my family, my loved ones, their loved ones, and their loved ones. I ask you to continue to watch over me, protect me, in the name of Jesus Christ, even at my weakest points, in the name of Jesus, amen. So I actually have some regular water to wash it all down with. I'm gonna scoop this table out because you guys can only see part of my head. So anyway, guys, so I finally found the ribs that I was looking for. Again, in Texas, I can find stuff like this probably if I travel to other sides of the city, but I try to stay in my own part of the city, not try to venture out into unfamiliar areas, if you guys know what I mean. So it's been a while since I actually had some of these ribs, and thankfully today is Thursday, and normally a lot of the rib joints on the street down here, they usually don't open up until Friday or Saturday. And they actually have laws in Indiana where they don't allow you to barbecue on certain days. Isn't that crazy? It's true. Certain days of the week, they do not allow you to barbecue. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. The weekend is approaching. Tomorrow's Friday. And hope that everybody stays safe. And I'm gonna tell you guys, besides the COVID-19, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on out here in these streets, man. It's a lot of crazy stuff. Since I've been in town, I basically don't go anywhere. I stay to myself. I did go do some visiting. I'm sweating a little bit because I've been kind of moving around trying to get everything set up for the video. Since I've been in town, I've probably seen 3 people, and I stay to myself. People are like, why'd you get a hotel when you got family members here, Damian? You don't have to get a hotel, cash out on a hotel, and you got family here. And the reason for that is, with the COVID going around, I just really would not want to be around anybody. Because they said, you know, I'm still waiting on my results to come back. I think it's like 3 to 5 days. So they say, even though that you don't show any signs, don't mean that you don't have it. And I would hate to go to someone else's house, being that I'm traveling from out of state. And everybody knows that the state of Texas, the COVID numbers are extremely high. And just so happen, I'm traveling from Texas. Well, that's why I chose to not stay with relatives while visiting. I actually decided to stay 1 day longer than I was originally supposed to. I need that extra day to take care of some personal business. Some things you just can't do over the telephone. So it was best for me to travel. So anyway, I've seen like a lot of the new people in my comments on my videos, recent videos. And a lot of people were asking me like, what was my experience like when I was incarcerated back in the 90s. Like when I went to prison, what, you know, what was my experience like? Can I make a video as far as about the right choices to make, so you don't have to have yourself in that type of position that I was in, and the type of stuff that I went through while I was inside. So it's no secret, guys, that I have been in prison before. I did do some things that put me on the other side of the law as I was coming up from my late teens until my early adulthood. And I made some not so good choices along the way that caused me to spend time away from my loved ones and my kids as well. So for the kids like who's watching my video right now, and the people who might be watching this video months down the line, I hope that what I'm gonna tell you in this video is gonna be a motivator for you, a tool that you can use. That way you don't have to actually go through what I went through. Well, I'm gonna give you guys a little story. Yesterday, I went downstairs to the lobby to get some coffee and some sugar because I had ran out in my room. And there was an older lady down there in the lobby, and she had recognized me. And she had her grandson with her. He was like 13 years old. She introduced herself to me, and I introduced myself to her, even though she knew who I was. Her grandson was with her. Again, he was 13 years old. I shook his hand or whatever. And the grandmother turned to me and she said, "He's my grandbaby. He lives with me. He's been with me for 6 years now." She said, "He's very rude. He's very bad. He's very disrespectful." Right in front of me. And he was right there. And I'm just like, I couldn't even believe it. I didn't even know what to say. And she said, "Can you please talk to him?" So, mind you guys, went down to the lobby just to get some coffee and some extra sweet and low sugar. I was not expecting that. And she said, while I was finna say something to her, she went on and on. She said, when he answers his phone, he says, "What? He don't help me take the trash out." And I looked at him and I was like, I was kind of dumbfounded because I was kind of put on the spot. So my first thing I said was, "Hey, I'm really sorry to hear that." And I looked at him, I said, "Young man, you need to respect your grandmother," whatever. And I was about to walk away because, again, I had my shorts on, a white beater. I just got out of bed. I just wanted some coffee and sugar. So I started to walk away and I stopped and I turned around. And I asked him, could I talk to him for a second. So we went over to the lobby area and sat down, me and his grandmother. And he told me straight up that he is rude and disrespectful to her. He said that he don't know why he's the way that he is. So during the conversation, I gave him a small piece of me. And what I mean by a small piece of me, I started talking to him. I started telling him some things about me. Because when I was talking to him, he was straight up with me. He didn't lie. He told me, yes, he knows he has a nasty attitude. Yes, he is really rude and disrespectful to his grandmother. And he admitted it. He didn't deny it. And he also had a cell phone in his hand. So I looked at him, I said, "Wow." I said, "That's a nice cell phone you have there." And his grandmother said, "Mm-hmm." I said, "How much you pay for that a month?" He said, "Well, my grandmother pays the month for me. My grandmother pays the monthly bill for me. It's $35 a month, straight talk." He kept looking at me. And I looked at him, I said, "Wow, that's nice of your grandmother." I said, "That's the same one that you be disrespecting." He said, "Yeah." Well, he didn't say yeah, he just nodded his head. Then a few seconds later, I said, "When was the last time that you gave your grandmother a check for the water bill or light bill?" And the grandmother was like, never. I was like, ma'am, hold on 1 second. And no disrespect, ma'am. I said, hold on 1 second. I said, I want him to answer. Your grandmother pays the phone bill. How many times have you cut her a check for the light bill? He shrugged his shoulders and said, never. I said, how many times have you cut her a check for the water bill? He shrugged his shoulders. He said, never. Then by the time I got to the next question, as far as how much have you gave her for rent, he kind of was starting to pick up on what I was saying to him. So basically, I was trying to tell him, basically, you know, that the same person that you depend on every day to take care of you is the same person that you've been rude and disrespectful to. You know, I said, as kids growing up, you know, I said I was in the same position that you was in. And I gave him a piece of me. I said, you know what disrespecting my mom got me? You know what disrespecting my oldest brother and my sister got me? He said, what? I said, a very hard lesson. Prison. I went down there around all these strangers from different parts of the state, different parts of the country that was here from murder, rape, all kind of stuff. And I had to spend years with these people. That conversation I had with him in that lobby yesterday, and his grandmother, from me just going to get a cup of coffee, some more coffee packs and some sweet and low for my sugar, for my coffee, which should have took me 5 minutes to get on the elevator, get it and come back up, turned into almost an hour and 20-minute conversation right in the lobby. At the end of the conversation, I asked the young man, did he have an IG? He said, yeah. I told him to send me a request. He pulled it up right there, sent it to me. I asked me if he had a Facebook. He said no, he had to download it. Later on, he had downloaded the Facebook app. He sent me a request. I'm glad that he did that, and I'm going to tell you guys why. Sometimes, when you know somebody's going through something, remember earlier I said when she was telling me about what happened, I told him he needed to be respectful to his grandmother, and I was going to walk away. But I stopped and turned around. Because sometimes when you stop and turn around and take that minute, you could change that person's life. It could be 50 people in the room that you're giving a speech to, a motivational speech. 49 of them may not even pay attention to you. But that one person who pays attention to you could actually change the other 49 people who didn't pay attention to you. So, I don't know what he walked away with, but I'm hoping that he walked away with something, because this morning he sent me a message on IG. He said, sir, I'm the one that you talked to in the hotel in the lobby yesterday. He said, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So I think, I did the right thing. I think me taking those few minutes out that turned into over an hour conversation was well worth it. Because I think, at first I didn't think that he walked away with nothing because the way he was looking. But then this morning when he sent me the message, it further let me know that some of what I said reached him. Now I'm gonna tell you guys something. Going to prison is one of the most degrading things in the world. It is so degrading to know that all the stuff that your parents tried to teach you as a kid growing up, all the stuff that your brothers and sisters tried to advise you and teach you on the right path to life, and you took it all and threw it away and traded it all in for a DOC number. My DOC number was 945935. How I remember that number is because in prison you don't have a name. They don't address you as Damian Cryer. You're addressed as 945935. If you get mail, they don't call your name. They say 945935. When you get your commissary, they don't call your name. 945935. When you get a visit, they don't call you by your name and say you have a visit. They call you 945935. I gave up all my freedom for a freaking 6-digit DOC number. You know, and it's like, I look back on that, man, even at 50 years old now, I look back on all those years that I wasted, man. I could have been something. I could have been setting an example. I sat back, man. Prison they sent me to was called Westville Correctional Center. It is one of the biggest prisons in the state of Indiana. Well, at the time, back in the 90s, it was 2,900 inmates. Broken windows. I literally watched people die right in front of me. I mean, literally. Not from being killed, but just died, like died of old age or something. I've literally seen the worst of the worst. I've seen some of the worst fights that you ever want to see. I mean, I've witnessed some crazy things while I was in there, man. Just stuff that, you know, would make the regular human being just throw up. One of the most degrading things that I experienced while I was inside was basically to go to the restroom. It's not like at home. You can't just go to the restroom. You know, like you're on the couch watching television, or you're eating dinner, you gotta get up and go to the restroom. You can't do that. You have to get permission. You have to carry this big old hallway pass with you, and it says restroom pass on it. You actually have to carry a hall pass with you to go to the restroom. When you take a shower, you got exactly 2 minutes in the shower. You know, you can't take a a good shower. You have a 2-minute shower. Some of the prisons, you don't even step outside your cell. The shower is on wheels. It comes to your room. You step in, 2 minutes, you step right out. It goes to the next room. That's degrading. Not being able to use the telephone when you want to. Things happen like, if one of the inmates on my block would get in a fight, they would shut the whole entire dorm down for a week. Which means, what if you got people traveling from out of town, out of state, driving 4, 5, 6 hours just to visit you for 2 hours? One person gets in a fight, shut the whole thing down. Your loved ones who's coming to visit you don't find out until you get there. Another thing, collect calls. Making all those collect calls home every day. One thing about I learned, man, is like, people go inside, because I was one of those same ones. You go inside a thug, then when you get in there, you're calling home saying that you changed your life around, you a Christian or you a Muslim now. And then the moment that you get released, you change into that same person you was before you went in. So I had to really root myself when I was there. Like I said, I've seen some really scary stuff. I really won't go into it in this video, but I've seen some really scary stuff, man, that just put me in a position to where I know I would never go back, ever. I came home in 1998. I never looked back. I think I've been pulled over once or twice since I've been home for a traffic violation, but I never looked back. I lost my mom while I was in there. I lost my little brother while I was in there. Prison didn't have no sympathy. You think they let me go to either funeral? Absolutely, absolutely not. You know, I used to always tell myself, like, basically, and you guys probably hear it too, especially if you have someone who's doing time or on the inside, we all do the same thing. We call home, oh, this food is so horrible. Oh my God, the jail was so nasty. Oh my God, the food is no good. I haven't been outside in 3 months. Oh, they treat us like crap. We're gonna sue the jails. You know what? It took me a long time to realize what I'm gonna say. When they build these correctional facilities, these jails, prisons, youth centers, they're not supposed to be comfortable. The food is not supposed to be good. The living environments is not supposed to be great. There's a reason for that. They're designed so you don't come back to them. I was one of the same ones calling home complaining. I'm suing when I get out, I'm doing this and that. But I had to realize that they didn't put me there. They didn't put me in the position that I was in. You know, going inside is not supposed to be great. It's not supposed to be great. It's supposed to be uncomfortable, you know, because it's not supposed to be designed for like a house or an apartment that you can fix up how you want. You got a little bitty cell with a toilet stool, 2 metal bunks with mattresses on them this thin. Then you get out and you're on probation, parole, and I realized, man, it takes only 1 or 2 minutes to commit a crime. 1 or 2 minutes to commit a crime. And it takes 10 or 15 years to get out of it. Could you imagine that? So I would say this right here. If you guys, especially the young crowd, man, because our young people need us more than anything. You guys are out there, man, and y'all watching this video, and y'all thinking about doing something stupid, like disrespecting your parents, dropping out of school. Don't do it. Try to keep yourself rooted in there, man. Listen to your parents. Do the right thing. I'm going to tell you, when you get locked up, you think your friend's going to be accepting your phone calls? Absolutely not. You think your friend's going to be jumping on the highway driving 3, 4, 5, 6 hours to come and visit you? Absolutely not. You think your homeboy's going to still be there waiting on you when you get, you know, like when you go down, sending you money, cashing out on you, putting money in your books? Absolutely not. The ones that's going to be there for you is going to be your parents, your family. You know, so try to keep that in mind, man. A lot of us, we don't learn until it's too late. And then we get down there, and the first thing we say is, when I get out, I'm not fucking with this dude no more. He ain't even look out for me. You know how I know that? Because I was one of the same ones who did it. Get down there, jump on one of them phones, trying to see what your girlfriend at home doing. You can't call her after 8 o'clock because the phones is off until the next day. You got 300 people on one block, and only two telephones on the wall. You want to call home every 5 minutes, check on your woman, see what she's doing. And you still got 5 years left. You gonna wait on me? You gonna be there for me? You gonna be there by my side? We make them pay the price because we locked up, and get mad at them because they don't wait on us. But yeah, we the ones who put ourselves in that position. I've seen it. I was one of the ones on the phone, fighting over the phone, ready to strangle somebody over the phone. I was one of the ones who listened to my bunkies, my roommates at night, complain that the old lady haven't answered their call in 2 or 3 days. She ain't wrote him in 2 or 3 weeks. You know, again, we put ourselves in those positions and we don't think about it until we get there. And then when we get there, we don't realize the only thing that slowed down was us. The world didn't slow down. The world kept on moving. You got 5 years left. The world ain't gonna slow down and wait on you. Hell, when you get home, cars gonna fuck around and be flying. Literally. We put ourselves in that position, but then we blame everybody else for it. You know, somebody a while back asked me to do this video, the same video, about my life experience on the inside. And I didn't really want to do it because, but people know that I've been on the inside before. People know I was shot 6 times. I don't really hide or sugarcoat anything when it comes to my experience with life, because my experience could help somebody else grow from it. But what really motivated me to do this video today is because of the conversation I had with a young man and his grandmother in the lobby yesterday. You know, and it was kind of touching for me because when I was 13 years old, I don't know if anybody ever had a talk with me like that when I was 13 or not. I mean, at 13, I was really respectful to my parents and stuff. But I think as I got older, I started smelling myself, you know, I started feeling myself, starting to think I was the man. But even during all that, when my ass got locked up, I found out I wasn't the man. I wasn't all that. I found myself on the phone calling my mom, trying to see if she can collect some bond money to get me out. That I didn't even know how I was going to even pay back. You know, basically, you just start thinking before we react, man. The world is such a different place now. The music is not the same anymore. Nothing. I mean, the world is a different place now. It is not the same. I am a firm believer that we are living in our last days. My grandma used to say that all the time. Boy, you better get together. We're in our last days. That was probably 40 years ago. What, I'm 50 now? 40 years ago, maybe about 35 years ago when I was about 15. We're living in our last days. You know how we are. I don't want to hear that. Guys, I'm telling you, we're in our last days. So much has changed, man. But I don't want to drag this video out. But I do hope that the words in this video will kind of help somebody out there who's watching the video, because like I said, our young people are actually our future. You know, it's like, what type of example are we setting if we're not really literally just taking the time to sit down and talk to them? That young man that I talked to yesterday, who knows? I feel like if it wasn't for me taking a few minutes, this man didn't know me from a can of paint. His grandmother knew who I was. You know, she watches YouTube or whatever, so she's seen my face on a TV screen a few times before. But I just feel like if I wouldn't took the time to talk to this young man yesterday, what would have happened? Maybe today he woke up just on that text message that I got on the DM that I got on IG this morning, based on that message he sent me. Maybe he woke up this morning and maybe he didn't disrespect his grandmother. Maybe he woke up this morning and maybe he took the trash out. Maybe he woke up this morning and maybe he just cut the grass today without being asked to do it. You know, so I just think like you can make a difference in people's lives. You know, I have motivational speeches, motivational people that I listen to on YouTube. I do listen to Eric Thomas. I do listen to Nina Brown. So I do listen to motivational speeches myself, and I try to listen to words of encouragement. And sometimes you can get some information from a stranger that can help you out, because one thing about talking to somebody who don't really know you is that they don't have to throw it back in your face, versus somebody who does know you. You tell them personal things, you know, they could throw it back in your face. And it's something that you would have to live with, and you would have regrets that you know, said certain things. But I would say, like, you know, if you see somebody going through something, man, you know, just stop and ask them, are they okay? Because you could stop them from taking their own life, stop them from making a decision that's going to change their life. You know, but I wanted to say prison is not fun. It's not something to be proud of. You know, it's not something that I'm proud of that's happened. You know, I wish I could rewind the hands of time. But I believe if I would have not went through those experiences that I did go through, that I would not be here today to be able to talk to you guys about my experience, because I was on the wrong path. But anyway, man, I'm gonna do a couple shout outs in this video, and then I'm going to bring it to an end, because I'm getting full. I'm actually thinking about taking me a nap today. Let's see if we can do some shout outs. First shout out today, post notification shout out goes to Maddie for Reborns. Is that Reborns? Maddie for Reborns. You are today's post notification shout out. The second post notification shout out goes to Life as Kimora. Gang, gang, gang. Kimora, you are today's second post notification shout out. Third post notification shout out goes to Candace Long Live Dexter. And the fourth post notification shout out goes to Candy and Co. Gang, gang, gang. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna bring this video to an end, man. If you guys have a video suggestion idea that you want me to do, man, leave me a comment in the comment section down below. Until next time, I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.